Good day, everyone. I will be your next speaker for this seminar, and I am Mr. Henry Bilan. My topic for today is Ingay na mag-aaral, isang pagsubok sa guro. Our objectives are the following. First, to give some importance of classroom management relative to learning. Second, to define noise relative to the topic or a working definition. Third, to enumerate the effects of students' noise. And fourth, to share strategies or personal experiences on how to manage students' noise. Okay, ingay na mag-aaral bilang isang pagsubok sa guro. Learning comes when learners are ready to listen or are free from disturbances. Preparing the learners to learn and maintaining a good learning environment is an important task of every educator. Every teacher, as an educator, should be able to manage the class in such a way that learners are ready to and continuously listen before the start and during the whole duration of every lesson. Experience or reality speaks for itself that learning is minimal, or worse, there is none at all, if learners are not ready to listen and learn. The teaching learning process is easy if there is an orderly, organized, and well managed classroom. This tells us the obvious reason why classroom management is an essential part of the teaching learning process. As teachers, we have different experiences as we have different students in different settings, places, times, cultures, ages, genders, and beliefs. This implicitly tells us that there is no single effective strategy for similar or even the same problems. What is effective to group A might not be effective to groups B to Z. Hence, management of classroom can be the same, similar, varied, or different. What is important is to apply whatever is effective. In my 9 years of experience as a classroom teacher, one common difficulty or problem that I encountered in the classroom is students' noise. It can be before, during, or after lessons. This challenged me to be better in managing my classes, particularly those with noisy students. I tried many strategies to apply or address this problem, and some are effective and others are not. According to Dr. Kenshaw, students make noise in a variety of ways. They tap their pencils, click their tongues, sing a song, or crack their knuckles. The noises can drive you and other students to distraction. Although you might be able to ignore some extraneous noises, others interfere with your students' ability to concentrate. At those times, an active response is required. So that is the importance of classroom management. Because an effective classroom management would mean that there is also an effective teaching learning process. Otherwise, there will be no learning at all if learners are not ready to listen and learn. Now, let us define what noise is in order to have our own working definition. Noise is any sound that is undesired or interferes with one's hearing of something. Another definition, sound is, or a noise is a sound, especially one that is loud, unpleasant, or frightening. Another one, noise is an unwanted sound judged to be unpleasant, loud, or disruptive to hearing. So from these definitions, we can say then that a noise is certainly a sound, and this sound is unwanted, it is undesired, it is unpleasant, and it interferes with or disrupt one's hearing or speaking. What are the possible effects of students' noise? So if there are noise in the classroom, what are the possible effects? First, there will be disruption of discussion. So the discussion or the lesson will be disrupted if students are noisy. There will also be disturbance of other students. So others might be attentively listening, but others are noisy. Then it will surely disturb those attentively listening students. Students will also misunderstand information because they will not be able to hear clearly what is being said. There will also be inability to understand instruction or lesson. So again, if hearing or speaking is interfered by noise, then students may not be able to understand given instructions. And the worst effect would be minimal learning or no learning at all. So if students are noisy in the classroom, the tendency is they might not be able to learn, or if they will be able to learn, it will be minimal. So they will not be able to maximize learning. Given this one, what can you do as a teacher? So I will be sharing to you the 9 strategies that I've been employing in my classes to lessen or to address this problem. First, usually when my students are noisy, I stop talking and I will allow them to talk until they will notice that I stop talking. So if they are too noisy, I need not to shout, I need not to continue speaking because they might not be able to notice me. So the best thing is to stop talking. And surely, if they will notice that you stop talking, they will also stop talking. So if they notice me that I stop talking, I usually ask them if they're done so that I will be able to continue. Another one. So when certain students or student is noisy, I will slowly approach the student. So for example, while I'm discussing and one student is noisy at the back, then as I talk, as I discuss, I will slowly go towards that student. Just go near to that student, and in a very low voice, I will ask, "What's going on? Why is it that you are noisy?" Another one, I also look them in the eyes for a while. So eye contact, and I only stop looking at them when they notice me. Sometimes students do not notice you, but her or his or their classmates will tell them that I am looking at them. So that will signal or that will call the attention of those noisy students. Another one, sometimes I call directly the attention of those students. So after calling their attention, I will ask a question related to the lesson. So for example, our topic is on the coming of Magellan to the Philippines. So I can ask when, how, why. So that will call the attention of the student to listen attentively. Or I can also ask those students to share before the class whatever they are discussing. It might be important, so why not? Another one, I will pose a question for everyone. So if I notice that majority of them are not listening or majority of them are noisy, then I will suddenly pose a question addressed to everyone. And of course, they have to think for the answer or of the answer, so that will at least hold their attention. Usually, I will call particularly the noisy ones to answer the question. I'm not really after the correct answer of the question, but I am after of calling their attention. So it is a message that, hey, you're not listening. So just calling their attention is telling them that they should listen or they should stop talking. Another one. So if one student is creating unnecessary noise with his or her seatmate, sometimes I do transfer one of them. It can be at the front or the back. Next, I assign tasks like erasing the writing on the board so that at least the student will find time to do something instead of just chatting with others. Another one, assign the students to list down the noisy ones. So I usually do this. I usually assign the noisiest student to be the one to list down the noisy ones during my class. Usually this is effective. The noisiest student will always be reminded that it is not good to be noisy, especially now that he is the one taking charge in listing down the noisy ones. In a sense, he is now a leader, so he would be ashamed to be the leader of the pasaway. And last but not the least, during group work or group activities, I will approach the group and ask what is going on and remind them to concentrate on their task at hand. So I do not disturb the class, but I will go around and will approach any group which is noisy or creating unnecessary noise and just remind them that they have to concentrate on their task at hand. So these are the 9 strategies that I had been employing in my teaching career to uh, listen or to manage students' noise in my classes. Aside from this, we can also learn from Dr. Ken Shore. He said that we have to make certain the student is aware she's making noise. Simply we have to inform the student that he or she is making noise, because sometimes if the student is not aware that he or she is disturbing others, then he or she will continue doing what he or she's doing. And it can also help if you will agree on some cues, that when you do that certain cue, it means that you're reminding him or her that he is or she is noisy. And when he or she sees you doing that cue, then he or she will stop. Another one, move the student to study quarrel. In short, transfer the student somewhere else. So I've already mentioned this. Sometimes it is good to isolate noisy students to let them realize that uh, they are not seated beside someone else to chat, but to learn. Another one, as a teacher, try to determine when the student is most likely to make noise. So it would be very good to identify what time of the day, what kind of make the student noisy. So it can be late in the day, early in the morning, or maybe at noontime, or when doing sit work, answering quizzes, or doing group activities. So in this way, as teachers, we will be able to adjust. So if we know that the students are noisy whenever we give group activities, maybe that will tell us teachers that it is not appropriate to give this certain group of students group activities. So if they are manageable, or if they are very disciplined when this discussion, then preferably uh, conduct your class, or there will be more discussions in your class instead of group activities. And the last but not the least, give the student positive attention. If your observations suggest that the student is making noise to get attention, look for occasions to pay attention to him while he's exhibiting positive behavior or enjoying an academic success. So simply you have to appreciate uh, the positive attitude, the positive character of these students instead of focusing on his or her negative characters. By giving positive attention, or by recognizing the positive behavior of students, they are less likely to seek attention in inappropriate ways. So again, the four suggestions of Dr. Ken Shore are: make certain the student is aware she's making noise, move the student to study parallel, or simply transfer the student, try to determine when the student is most likely to make noise, and give the student positive attention. So this is the end of my sharing, and I hope that you will be able to adopt one or two. So if you're able to do that, then I will be very happy, especially to our incoming teachers, or those who are new in the teaching profession. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.